Well, Dave, you said to the press after the game on Saturday that you expected a reaction from your players come Monday morning. Have you been pleased with what you've seen this week?
Yeah, I wouldn't in any way, shape or form not expect that. Because I've said previously, they are a highly motivated group, are desperate to win football matches, and when they don't, then are disappointed. So you have to move on quickly. We've done that and prepared for what is going to be another tough game on Saturday.
I suppose it's always difficult to analyse the game straight afterwards. What have been the biggest lessons you've taken from that defeat now you've had a chance to look back at it and analyse it properly?
Not much difference to what I said afterwards, really. You can't, and we've said it before, the difference between the leagues as you step up is you can't afford to make the mistakes that we made on Saturday in a game where the ball was barely on the pitch. So you can look at statistics and we can take positives from it and say that our expected goals was nearly 2 and we scored 2, and Barrow's expected goals was 0.4 and they scored 3, and we had massively more proportionate possession in terms of what we did, and all those different things makes no difference. They scored 3, we scored 2, we get no points, they get 3. So you look at those things, but I think what you have to do is from a player's perspective, recognise how the game might differ, and you come from, especially from my perspective moving forward, go back years and years back where you're playing in the sort of National League North and you can really focus on yourself in terms of what you do, and your team being the best. Coming to the National League, there's different challenges. There are different challenges in League 2 and different challenges that are eked up in terms of what you need to do, and teams will play in different ways. Teams will come to Edgeley and play in different ways. Teams will try and stop us doing what we want to do, and that's why I've said previously, as much as we need to know where we are now, that we need to be adaptable. We've shown good bits in the second half in terms of we never played well by any stretch, but we made it a game, and that showed by even making it a game, we can cause teams problems in terms of chances we created, in terms of scoring 2 goals. We've got to be in a position though where if we score 2 goals at home, then we get 3 points, not no points. And that's, like I say, obvious in terms of the goals we conceded. They were poor, and you hope you learn from it and it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and in terms of the players that came off the bench in that second half as well, they seem to come on and make a difference in that second half. I mean, fierce competition for places at the minute in it, and that can only be a good thing in the long term.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I don't think it was, again, from our perspective, not just in terms of how you play, in terms of what the result looked like at half time, we couldn't get much worse in the second half. Even if we'd played as badly as we did, I don't think we conceded another 3 goals. There is competition. What we've got to do is be careful that we don't become, as a management team, we don't become knee-jerk. It can't be. Players have got to play under pressure and play, I suppose, in fear of the place, but not in fear that if they have a rough half an hour, then that's them out of the team. We can't become that. So people will get opportunities. It won't be opportunities based on here's 45 minutes, go and see how you do. We'll make changes based on how we see the games go and how we think we can best get a result, which we did at the weekend, and we made the changes at half time. But that doesn't mean then straight away you're flipping your team, and it's an easy place to get into, if you like, knowing that you've got quality. All that happens is you have no continuity, you have no overflow from different games, and you end up changing your team every week, which we can't do, we won't do. We've got to be consistent. People have to develop understanding in terms of units, in terms of partnerships, and all those different things. So, like I say, it's important, as I said, we don't become knee-jerk in terms of the selections we make. But ultimately, there are places up for grabs, as there will be at every club.
And one of those players that did come off the bench was James Brown, who obviously had only joined the club, I think, the day before the game. How has he settled in so far after a week, and what do you think he'll bring to the team?
Yeah, settled in well. As I said previously, it's an easy group to settle into in terms of certainly the off-the-pitch stuff. They're a really good group who get on well together. So he's come and been, like I say, been fine. It'll be a learning process for him. Pre-season wise, he's not played a lot of games, so we obviously need to get him up to speed. He covers different positions for us. We see Certainly, in terms of our wide centre-backs, we see that as an attacking role. So obviously brought him on there when we were chasing the game, but can do a job as a right-back, can do a job as a right wing-back. So again, gives us flexibility down that side. So I'm sure he'll be a really, really good addition. And as I say, will only improve over time when he gets used to what we need from him and what we want from him.
Just on the injury front going into the weekend, obviously we know Akil Wright is still out at the minute. How's everyone else coping fitness-wise?
Yeah, everyone else is fine. We've had a few that have missed little bits this week, the odd day, if you like, just more from our perspective as a precaution. But like I say, apart from Akil, who is stepping up his sort of rehab in terms of what he's doing, nice to see him out on the grass and in and around the boys. Apart from him, we're in decent shape.
Going back to Saturday, I mean, your away form last season was comfortably the best in the National League. I think you averaged over 2 points a game over the course of the season. What do you put that down to, and is that something you're confident of continuing this season?
We're confident of continuing it. I don't think we did a whole lot different away from home than we did at home. Maybe from our perspective, maybe there's when you go away from home, there ultimately becomes a little bit more pressure on the home team to try and win. It became a little bit different at Edgeley. We've got to make that place a difficult place to come. When that becomes a difficult place to come, teams change what they do, and all of a sudden, potentially taking a point away becomes a good result. I think there's always the pressure, the need for the home team, for their home fans to go out and be on the front foot and not play as an away team. So that certainly suits us in terms of how we went about things. But we just stuck to what we were, what our principles were, what we wanted to try and achieve. And as you say, our away record was fantastic and went a long way to us winning the National League.
And just finally, you touched on last week how it was a little bit of an unknown on the opening day in terms of how Barrow will set up, how they'll approach the game. Do you have a better idea on what to expect on Saturday, having had the chance to watch how Stevenage got on last week?
Yeah, we do based on one performance, if you like. It will be a completely different game. They went and got a great result at Tranmere, a deserved win based on how they played, but they made it very difficult, made it a game that suited them, and Tranmere didn't cope. So we expect a physical game. We expect a team that are very strong on set pieces, long throws, free kicks, corners. We expect them to play back to front, and we have to deal with that. But most importantly, what we've got to do after we deal with that is impose what we want to do on the game in terms of where we want to get control and how we want to hurt them. And hopefully we'll be able to do that a lot better than what we did last Saturday. But as I say, I expect us to get better and improve game on game. And we certainly know that if we don't improve from Saturday, then it becomes a long Saturday afternoon for us.
Dave, thank you for your time.
Cheers, thank you.